I want to go now to a man who spends his time diving into puzzling cases together from around the country. Bill Proctor with the Case Breakers is joining us tonight. Bill, it is good to see you again. I want to start here with the Laundrie case, and you have decades of experience in both law enforcement as a police officer, as a private investigator. What is your take on this manhunt right now in the search for Brian?
Well, I kind of think it's unfortunate that they're focusing on this one place that the parents said Brian was headed to. And I'm not sure if that's enough to commit this kind of resource, except that the agent was very likely correct. There may be things that they know that have sent them there and keep them there that mean that they are onto something that is involving this particular property. There's no doubt it is vast. It's very difficult to get to maintain the connections between those people who have boots on the ground moving from place to place. I'm very concerned at this point that after all these days, unless the dogs have found something in particular, I don't think the business about the guns has any real value or concern. I think the real bottom line is how much more time will they spend in the swamp, in the woods, doing these walks? And yes, even the trainees, that's more boots on the ground. That's more eyes that could be spread around and might come up on the right place at the right time.
Bill, we have seen a lot of families of victims of crimes and families of missing people hire private investigators like yourself to help push the needle forward and find answers in the circumstances of their loved ones. If you were hired by the Petito family in this case to piece this puzzle together, where would you be focusing right now?
You know, it's very difficult. So much of what they were doing is on videotape. I'm not sure if that is actually in the hands of law enforcement now, or if it was just out there still posted as to where they traveled and what they were doing. The scuffle, the fight, the disagreement they had where the police were actually on the scene. What went on from that point forward? Because that appears to be the point where they had enough difficulty that violence might have taken place. And I don't know how far away from the spot where the police talked to them, where the body was found. There are so many elements here, and it is a vast area. And these two people essentially were alone, only occasionally seen by other people.
I mean, there's so much attention on this case right now. At what point do you anticipate police to pull back resources, pivot, and take a look at the strategy?
All of these situations rely on what they can find out that they can turn into fact. Sometimes they're just leads that they can't verify. That's the problem with a situation like this, because it's so spread out, and really you're down to the two people. I, quite frankly, would have not let Brian Laundrie leave the neighborhood where he was. I'm not sure how that happened, and somebody made a judgment call here, and he was put in a position where he could disappear, which is what has caused all the searching right now.
I don't anticipate with the heat on this case that this is one of those cases we anticipate to go cold anytime soon, but you're an expert in cold cases and cracking them. What really qualifies a cold case? How does a case hit a dead end and turn cold?
Well, an investigation starts with a certain body of facts, and the police, the investigators, walk down certain roads, ask a lot of questions, put themselves in places to get the answers to the initial set of facts to try to lead to what happened to the missing person or the person even where the body was found, and they don't know who's responsible. So it's a matter of walking down every single road until they run out of leads. That's when a case can become cold. That's when it ends up in a file and set aside because the resources have been expended, the leads have been followed, and you literally have to wait for a bit of luck, someone to call in with a tip that's going to be much more important than what you've done already.
We've heard in missing persons cases that the first 72 hours are critical. Is the same thing the case in something like this, in a manhunt after a crime has been committed?
Well, this one's a bit different because the body's already been found. I'm sure that crime scene was evaluated down to the absolute nth degree. So now it's a matter of who could be responsible. Brian Laundrie is #1 on that hit parade. And so until we find him, advancing this case is going to be difficult. Whether he will talk, whether he has talked to someone else, whether there's a person out there, maybe in family, maybe not, that he has talked to and explained what happened to this wonderful teenager who's now gone. I mean, we We really are waiting at this point with fingers crossed, hoping to get some luck.